When we think of cruise ships, we imagine sunlit decks and carefree holidays. Laughter echoing over azure waters, the clinking of cocktail glasses, the promise of adventure in exotic ports. But beneath the surface, there are stories that are anything but tranquil. Stories that whisper of the darkness that lurks just beyond the railing, of the unseen depths that hold secrets as old as time. These are the tales of high seas horror. The MS Zenith was a palace of leisure, a floating city where worries seemed to melt away under the tropical sun. But on a moonless night in the middle of the Atlantic, a chill settled over the ship, a premonition of something sinister. It began with a whisper, a rumor spreading through the corridors like a draft. A passenger, a Mr. Smith, had vanished. He was last seen on the upper deck, leaning against the railing, gazing out at the vast, inky blackness of the ocean. A young couple, sharing a bottle of wine under the starry sky, claimed to have seen him there, a solitary figure silhouetted against the moonless night. But when they passed by again, he was gone. No cry for help, no splash, no sign of struggle. Just an empty space where moments before a man had stood, contemplating the endless expanse of the sea. The crew scoured the ship, their faces etched with a growing unease. They checked every cabin, every nook and cranny, but Mr. Smith was nowhere to be found. Theories began to swirl like the eddies of the ship's wake. Had he fallen overboard? But there were no witnesses, no signs of a struggle on the deck. Had he met with foul play? But who on this floating paradise would harbor such darkness? The investigation yielded nothing. The ship's security cameras showed no trace of Mr. Smith leaving the deck. The vastness of the ocean seemed to have swallowed him whole, leaving behind a chilling mystery that hung over the remainder of the cruise. Passengers, once carefree, now eyed each other with suspicion, their laughter replaced with hushed whispers. The disappearance of Mr. Smith became a ghost story, a cautionary tale whispered on the wind. Some whispered of rogue waves, monstrous walls of water that could sweep a man off his feet without a trace. Others spoke of ancient maritime legends, of sirens luring unsuspecting souls to watery graves. But the truth, like Mr. Smith himself, remained lost at sea. The MS Queen Anne's Revenge, a name seemingly chosen to invite a sense of foreboding, became synonymous with another kind of maritime mystery. This time, it wasn't a disappearance that chilled passengers to the bone, but a series of ghostly sightings, whispers of spectral figures haunting the ship's dimly lit corridors. It started with a maid, a young woman named Maria, who claimed to have seen a translucent figure drift through a wall in one of the lower decks. She described a woman in a white gown, her face obscured by a veil of mist, her eyes burning with an eerie cold light. Maria's story, initially dismissed as an overactive imagination, gained traction when others came forward with similar accounts. A group of friends playing cards in the ship's lounge reported seeing a shadowy figure lurking in the corner of the room, watching them with an unseen gaze. A bartender swore he saw a ghostly hand reach out from behind the bar, its fingers brushing against his own, leaving a trail of icy cold in its wake. The sightings, each more unsettling than the last, began to spread like a contagion, feeding on the passengers' growing unease. The ship, once a symbol of luxury and escape, began to feel like a haunted house adrift on the endless expanse of the sea. The most chilling account came from a young couple honeymooning on the ship. They awoke one night to find a spectral figure standing at the foot of their bed, its form shimmering in the moonlight that streamed through the porthole. The figure, they claimed, was that of a young boy, his face pale and gaunt, his eyes filled with a sorrow that seemed to seep into the very air they breathed. Terrified, the couple fled their cabin and alerted the crew. But as with all the other sightings, a search yielded nothing. the ghostly boy, like the whispers in the corridors, remained an elusive phantom, a chilling reminder that some mysteries are best left unsolved. These encounters, dismissed by some as mere hallucinations or the product of overactive imaginations, left an undeniable mark on the Queen Anne's Revenge. The ship, once a beacon of carefree indulgence, now carried the weight of unseen passengers, their ethereal presence a constant reminder of the secrets that lie beneath the surface of our reality. The MS Neptune's Jewel, a name that evoked images of serene beauty and tranquility, was about to face the raw fury of nature, a tempest that would etch its name in maritime history, not for its opulence, but for the tragedy it would endure. The day began like any other, the sun glinting off the azure waters, the laughter of passengers echoing across the decks. But beneath this veneer of serenity, the air held a subtle shift, a growing tension that spoke of an approaching storm. The sky, once a canvas of brilliant blue, began to darken, the clouds gathering like an ominous premonition. The wind, initially a gentle caress, turned into a howling beast, whipping the waves into a frenzy. The ship, once a symbol of human ingenuity and mastery over the sea, began to tremble and groan under the relentless assault of the storm. Panic spread through the ship like wildfire as the storm unleashed its full fury. Passengers, their faces etched with terror, clung to railings as the Neptune's Jewel was tossed about like a toy in the hands of a raging giant. Waves, monstrous walls of water, crashed over the decks, sweeping away anything not bolted down. The storm, a sudden and violent tempest, raged for hours, battering the ship without mercy. The crew, their faces grim, fought valiantly to maintain control, their efforts a testament to human resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. But the Neptune's Jewel was no match for the unbridled power of the sea. As the storm reached its crescendo, a rogue wave, a towering wall of water, slammed into the ship's starboard side. The impact, a deafening roar that reverberated through the very core of the vessel, sent shockwaves through the ship. Passengers were thrown against walls, furniture overturned, and the lights flickered and died, plunging the ship into darkness. The Neptune's Jewel, once a symbol of luxury and leisure, was now a scene of chaos and despair. The storm, in its relentless fury, had transformed the ship into a microcosm of human vulnerability, a stark reminder of the raw power of nature. In the aftermath of the storm, as the sun peeked through the dissipating clouds, the true extent of the tragedy became clear. The Neptune's Jewel, battered and bruised, limped towards the nearest port, carrying with it the scars of the storm and the weight of the lives lost. The sea, once a source of wonder and adventure, had revealed its darker side, leaving behind a legacy of sorrow and a chilling reminder of the fragility of human existence in the face of nature's awesome power. The stories of the MS Zenith, the Queen Anne's Revenge, and the Neptune's Jewel are just a few drops in the vast ocean of maritime mysteries. They serve as a chilling reminder that beneath the surface of our perceived reality, there lies a world of unknown depths, where the line between the tangible and the spectral blurs. These stories remind us that the sea holds many secrets, some of which are as deep and dark as the waters themselves. They whisper of the fragility of human existence, the power of nature, and the mysteries that lie beyond our comprehension. As we sail the oceans of our lives, let us remember these tales, for they serve as a compass, guiding us through the darkness and reminding us that the greatest mysteries are often those that remain unsolved.